And she said, oh, we have a home. We just don't have a house to put it in yet. We all have a home. There is the home within us. And sometimes we need to find an energy field to put it in, something that is solid and something that is there for us. And as I awake every morning, I always align that the angels, the archangels, and all enlightened beings go before me and prepare the way as I become a lamp unto my own feet, drawing the good, the true, and the beautiful into my life. This is my morning affirmation. So when we're headed on down the yellow brick road and we're putting our experiences together brick by brick and we're attracting the energies that are all they're components of our own consciousness. Think about it. How many of us, we haven't felt that we're that intelligent. And of course, we are always studying and we need to grow and we need to unfold. But putting ourselves down, a representative of that scarecrow. And as they get on down the road, the yellow brick road, who do they find? They find the Tin Man who's looking for a heart. And actually, the Tin Man is very compassionate. And there is such a difference between, tolerance and acceptance. There is the compassionate nature within us that makes the crooked ways, makes them straight, and allows us to arise in that energy every single day of our lives. And as they get on down the road a little further, there is the lion. And he roars and he puts up a big front and he's, a lot of puff and a lot of bravado, but he's terrified of his own shadow. And he looks for courage. Now Dorothy, interestingly enough, she did not take on her companions what they were looking for and try to fix them. She said, join me on the yellow brick road. We're going to this great emerald city. We're going to find the Wizard of Oz. He's going to give us everything that we need. Looking outside herself, but she did not take their problems and challenges on. She just said, join me. Join me in this amazing adventure of life. We're on the yellow brick road. And remember, the yellow brick road is the road to enlightenment. Yellow is the symbol of enlightenment. So they're on the yellow brick road. And which is very prominent energetically is the rainbow, where she sings about the birds that fly and the clouds that move behind me. That the rainbow is prominent in this energy field. And that there are 5 rays of the rainbow. And each ray is symbolic of an energy field within our physical organism. Beginning with the root chakra. Chakra means what? A wheel of spinning energy in a clockwise fashion. We are rooted to the Earth Mother. That red blood flows through our cells, through every living thing, beyond color, race, creed, sexual orientation, and political affiliation. I added that, okay? So, energetically, when we are rooted to the Earth Mother, we are here to be in the world, but not of it. When we're in the world, we're about our daily round. We're about doing the things that we have taken on and that we are responsible for. But we are of a higher spiritual vibratory frequency that moves into cosmic consciousness, the violet ray within the crown chakra. Energetically rooted to the Earth Mother, living out samsara, as the ancient Hindi call it, the daily round. But there is a fine line between the daily round, samsara, getting up in the morning, taking our shower, doing all the things we need to do, being off to work, coming home again. There's a fine line between samsara and nirvana, which is the highest spiritual state that we can attain to. So when we lift our consciousness up through the chakras and the energy fields, there's also an 8th chakra. It's the etheric. It is that energy that allows us to be in the world, but not of it. And as we cleanse, purify, harmonize, balance, attune, and heighten the energy field within us, each chakra is cleansed purified, harmonized, balanced, attuned, and heightened. So we move from the root to the emotional body. We cleanse and purify our emotions. Did you know that every emotion that we have ever experienced is stored in the emotional body? And so it's up to us to cleanse and purify this energy field so then we can let it go. Because something will remind us of something, and we'll relive that very, very tragic experience, or the sorrow or the sadness that we felt. And I have to remind myself, having been raised in a very abusive, violent home growing up, when I have that happen, I spiritualize it. And I give thanks that I grew, and there was an unfoldment there, and that there was a compassion for the person that seemed to be giving out that energy. So I do that. I allow myself to go within to the secret place of the Most High, to pray to my Father, Mother God in secret, and to know that I am acknowledged openly, because that sense of sadness and sorrow is dissolved and returned to its native nothingness from whence it came. And we have to be very clear about that we chose our parents. Now, Dorothy was an orphan, so she had Aunt Em and Uncle Henry. She had all the little farm hands there that supported her, but she was an orphan. And she had to move through that experience, just as we move through the experiences in our own life that follow us at a DNA cellular level. And we have cellular memory. I love when the Course in Miracles states that miracles are not only progressive, moving forward, showing up in our life in the here and now, but they are what? They're not only progressive, but they're retroactive. That we can heal the ancestral line. Think about it. We can heal the pain and suffering. We hear from biblical scholars and from the Bible itself that the sins of the first and second generations are visited upon the third and fourth. But I say unto you that the joy, the energy of light upon the first and second generations is visited upon each and every one of us, because miracles are not only progressive, they are retroactive. We are healing the ancestral line. We are healing the pain and suffering and the energy that we experience as children. The Quran and the Prophet states, "What is your pain but the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding?" That we send love and compassion to those energies that are putting out anything less than unconditional love. And when I feel judged, I just have trained myself just to put out that light and that energy. Is there a sting? Is there a little piercing when we're judged? Of course, that's the human condition. We feel that, but we do not take it on. We say, "Oh, you want to be a genius? You want a brain? You want a heart? You want to feel the courage of the universe? Join me on the yellow brick road to enlightenment. Join me in this energy field that allows me to get on down the road, to find the Emerald City." And the Emerald City is also very, very symbolic, archetypically, of what? Of the energy of Christ consciousness, the energy of moving to that holy city. And Hermes wrote about the emerald tablets, "As above, so below. As within, so without." That everything is coming from that spiritual stance and that energy. So as we're getting on down the road, we're going to be sidetracked. There's going to be detours. There's going to be roadblocks. In fact, the origin of the word, and I love this word, serendipity. I love serendipity. I love those moments that show up in our life. Serendipitous moments that, could never be really expected. In fact, I loved it when RJ is filling in for Julian today, and when I was voted in as the president of the International Foundation for World Peace, went all over the world speaking at universities and institutions on world peace. And I had shared with RJ that we were going to Istanbul. I was speaking at the University of Istanbul, and we were going there. And he said, oh, my mother is really, really upset. She's so upset that we're going because, I'm gay. I said, really? No, I didn't say that. I said, uh-huh. And she said that, they behead gay people in Istanbul. I said, Istanbul is one of the most provocative and continental cities in the world. You're thinking of, the nomads or whatever she's thinking of. That will not occur. So we get to Istanbul, and I speak at the University of Istanbul, the medical center, and then, we go to this amazing grand mosque, which is the Grand Bazaar and has every kind of amazing handicrafts and art and beauty and energy. And he's inside this really darling tent, and he's looking at this wonderful shawl. It's like a stole, and it's many colors. And I said, oh, you're going to go get Joseph's robe. That's fantastic. He said, well, it's really more than I thought, and I really love it, but it's more money than I really want to pay because I'm on a budget. And I said, well, I'll take care of half of it. So then suddenly we hear the minarets, the call to prayer that only in Turkey can you hear that energy field. I am out there, listen to this. Oh, I am feeling the energy of spirit. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely wonderful. And I go in and he makes his purchase and we walk out and he says, while you're out going, oh, it's also spiritual and wonderful, Omar's trying to get me under his tent. So we had a good laugh, and I said, heads may roll, but not yours. Don't we love life? We love life and the energy that allows us to be in the world, to have our experience, to have those moments of laughter and energy, and also to know that there is a call to prayer, that we are the prayer that's praying itself. And that when we are on that yellow brick road to enlightenment, we become that energy. And when the house falls on our shadow side, that's one aspect of the energy that we, an unfinished business, we don't need to really even deal with. It's done. It is finished. Glenda, representing our higher self, shares, put on these red slippers, and they will carry you to where you're going. What do the feet represent? Our understanding. Red is the color, remember, of that energy of life and passion and compassion also. And they're going to take her to the Emerald City, to the Wizard of Oz. And of course, she doesn't know yet that the wizard is within her. She doesn't get it yet, because she's making that transition from childhood to adulthood. She doesn't quite understand what's happening. She just knows that the Kansas consciousness didn't serve her. It was dark and it was bleak. But when she opened that door, creating that spiritual cyclone, there was a land of color, of munchkins, that Carl Jung said represent our complexes. They peer out of the flowers, and the minute you gaze upon them, they recede. So they're the things that come out when we're not looking, but they recede when we look at them. And we allow the energy to lift us to the next level. And when Glenda says, are you a good witch or a bad witch? She says, I'm not a witch at all. I'm a girl. I'm a girl. But energetically, that archetype lives within each of us. I believe in the archetype of the magician, where we can turn the base elements of the everyday leaded experience, the black and white experiences, into gold, into color, into life, into truth, into beauty. I believe that there is within us, within our own heart, joy, which is the most infallible sign of the presence of God. Joy. And that as we get on down the road to enlightenment, that there is a call, and we are answering that call to enlightenment. Next week, we're going to talk about, energetically, what the Emerald City is to each and every one of us, and to acknowledge the opportunity that we have to transform the routines of work into celebrations of life and love, and to realize that this is not a frivolous thing, but joy must be there, the energy of joy, and if we're not in joy, we're in ego. And I'm not talking about giddiness and all of that, I'm talking about that feeling of gratitude, that's so grateful to be in the world, to live my life, to touch upon you, to feel your heartbeat when we hug, to acknowledge that we're together, not by chance, but by divine appointment. Nothing happens by chance. And that these sacred symbols are the information from our subconscious mind. And when we receive that information, something transforms within us. And if we have that little companion, the loyal companionship, whether it shows up, as Dorothy said, Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. Oh my God, we're not in Kansas anymore. That loyalty of that consciousness, that unconditional love that only a little dog can give us. So this morning, I know we're all getting on down the road. We're going someplace. And as we join hands and hearts in this journey down the yellow brick road, we are going where? Higher yet. Where are we going? Higher yet. Where are we going? Higher yet. I am in a high place, and I will not come down. None of these outer things move me, because I am in a high place, and I will not come down. And I say to you, Namaste. The God in me salutes the God in you, and the God in you salutes the God in me. And if I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there is truly only one of us. Namaste, Shalom, the peace that passes all understanding. And God bless us, everyone. And so it is. I love you, and I thank you.